Yeah, letting, let's say, the meeting go on with that type of questioning, right, which was maybe useful to you, maybe not. It brings to light the issue of practice, and practice as a way of accessing intelligence, see, knowing. And the possibility in the process of knowing, having questions that arise from wisdom, see, not from, let's say, an urge to question, so mechanical questioning, not really going too far or too deep or anywhere particularly. Okay? Just to try and create conversation, which is what ordinary people do. Just talk to talk. See? The potential of spiritual practice is to make your communicational reality very direct, see? And very resonant. See? The idea is to get through the resonance. Be in proper resonance with the situation so that you and your inner you are working together in a way where there's no doubt. Doubt as such disappears. And a degree of questioning disappears with the doubt. Because the questioning may be due to programs of doubt. And maybe not. See, flip the coin. See. Here we're talking about the penetrational ability of real practice, to just know. Know, get to that point, see, directly. See, and very clearly. Know what it is for you to do on a day-by-day, moment-to-moment basis. And know what's safe to do. Know what is safe to say. See, because your heart, if you're in a heart practice, your heart is smart. See, it knows. See. But if you're in the social field, then you're going to be more outside of that zone. See. If it's about casual conversations, and that's the level of your reality, friendly, social, casual conversation, that's not going to cut it, in a manner of speaking. That's going to keep you at a mere talk level. Yeah. It's not going to access more. Or the deepa as such. So the deepa for accessing it is in the form of I need to go deeper, I'm going deeper, and I'm open to what comes out of the deepness, the deepness. With a sense of certainty that when it shows up, you're going to know it. Because it's you after all, it's your intelligence, your consciousness, your body, mind, see? And you're unconscious. You need to know that the unconscious is what you're tapping into when we're talking about the spiritual, the immaterial, or the psychic, or the transcendent. And we're also having to include the idea of accessing wisdom. Being open to, let's say, own wisdom. And being willing to hear into that, which is part of a self-realization practice. And cutting down the general to the specific, see? And cutting down the BS to much more clear communication. Not this. Just that, which is company. There comes a time when you have to go beyond that. That might be way, way, way up there for most people. Way, way, way in advance to where they are. Because that might be their mode. That might be their only way. So to do anything, to access whatever else it is that they need to access. So, But as we go deeper, then it becomes less that and more something else, knowing. See, up here, not here. It's knowing, like. Being. So practice then becomes a deepening process because you're getting to know you, the deeper part of you. Not the shallow, ordinary, friendly, which is functional. But that's not all there is. So self. So there comes a time to chop through that kind of wood and step it up, step in, see? Step deeper. Listen more deeply. See? Ratchet the intensity of what it is you know yourself needs to be and do. See? No one's going to force that on you here, but we can speak about it. See? So you morph away from mediocrity as a mode of operating to mastery, see, as a potential mode of operation. See, that is much more chop, 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 cut right through it, get to the point, keep it simple, in some cases quick, and you still have time to BS. See, but even that becomes less and less necessary. The more the inner opens up, a different balance is created. It changes this. See? And that changes this. We need to get this to speak. See? And we need to use this to know. And that takes a certain positioning of yourself with your intelligence, your inner consciousness. Your inner being, maybe the true you. See? You can't be afraid of that. See? No one's saying that anything's being taken away from you. We're just cutting into, let's say, the real. In your case, in everybody's case, we need to be introduced to the real, see? And to be open to the real. It means you have to open yourself to you. The inner, deeper you, and be willing to hear and resonate with that, and experience it with a certain degree of understanding. That's part of the manifestation of the creative, by the way. And then you hear it here. You don't hear the shy, the withdrawn, the emotional. You don't hear the human as much, see? Because that's not who you are. That's who you appear to be, right? Ordinary, friendly, sociable, familial, nice guy on the surface, but that's not true to the inner. The inner is better than nice. It's real. See? And it's deeper than nice. It's compassionate. It's in touch with the messianic, the life-saving impulses of the heart. Not the ego, the heart. The heart will save. See? Give the heart some rain and it will save. It will reach out way beyond the ego will. The ego is fearful. And the heart is fearless. The awakened heart is fearless. That's what's important. Awaken that heart at its core and let it have its way. Doesn't mean peeps, to understand. You're in a universe and peeps are not what that universe is. Peeps are a little part of it. Family is a starting point. It's not humanity. Humanity is the family. The solar system is the family. Right? And the galaxy is the family, the bigger family. So we need to open up more and understand what the total could be for us. And what the cosmic is demanding of us, in a sense. See? As we go deeper and thus expand more, outwardly in a manner of speaking. See ourselves in the bigger picture of what it is. See? And that's what practice is about. See? Coming to be true to the real at the heart level. Not the self level or the family level. That's the beginning. See? The self has to be converted, see, into radiance. See? Non-self, no self. See? And it's not about giving anything away. No, the self is smart. As I said, the heart is smart. It doesn't give away anything. It just gives space and gives grace. See? See? It gives love from a distance, in a sense. It's not wanting to get personally sort of like tied down, in a manner of speaking. Although it can handle that. Families are tied down, but they can be open. And the heart in the family can be open. That's our nature. Our spiritual heart nature. Come in now.
So, practice allows the consciousness to give voice to the unconsciousness? Is that what you're...
No, it gives voice to the conscious. And the conscious can access it depending on fear or fearlessness, the unconscious. And that's where the asking is. Some would say the subconscious. But the asking is there. You have to be fearless though, because you may not get what you ask for. You get what you need, but you may not get what you ask for. So you can pray or wish and hope and dream, but you get what you need. So, and then that must become wood for the fire of you creating a bridge to a higher state of reality, which then we would say would be more in line with the possibility of self-realization. We need to have that self-realization. And I don't particularly mean self-realization in a Hinayanistic manner of speaking. It's just about yourself. No. Self-realization then means true self or free self-realization. It's not about yourself, because there is no self then. So your being then is going deeper so that you can be more functionally useful to other peeps from a deeper level rather than an egoic level of doing things as part of your own personal business approach to relations or friends or society or co-workers or whatever, positions. So once you resonate with the deeper self, then you feel less insecure and thus less dependent upon other people just for dependency. So, well, no, I gotta have this, I feel good if I have this. Well, that disappears. You feel good because you have nothing. And you still have, but you have nothing. You're good with nothing. See, aloneness. See? And this might sound like a bunch of madness to some beings, but this is practice. This is the subtle. See, realization of practice as a heart being. See? Heart practice. See? Less BS, more deep intention, good intention. See? Native intention. See? Being a good being. See? Less BS, more goodness. See? Less BS, more true value. See? And more deepness, so there's more meaningfulness, and that's when you play the horn, each sound comes out more powerfully, more correctly, with more heart. We're going to use the word heart in it, more meaning and power. See? More realness. More of what is true for you. Or even beyond that. What is true for it.
So it's a matter of opening to the inner master and letting it speak?
We can call it that. You can call it that. Yeah. That's the potential of each being. It's not a person. Yeah. Some would say it's a higher self. Or whatever you want to call it. Let's call it the Father in you. Some would say the Father or the Mother in you. That's the higher self. This self which actually hears what you're asking for and can produce it. Maybe not instantaneously, but it can produce it. That means it can bring light down, let the mana come into your consciousness. Which is not theory, it's fact. For many practitioners, it's a fact. Your wish, your hope, your dream, your function, your sacred function, And you have to have a resonance with being sacred function. And it can be so. You start to see that, wow, you've activated something in you that is conforming to this impression or idea of sacred functioning. And the BS drops away, and you don't want a bunch of silly barroom jokes to warm your circuitry up. It doesn't work. Okay? It goes beyond cheap shots, cheap thrills, right? Toilet nonsense, which is fun and playful, but up to a point. Right? When you start seeing there's real intensity in your being, and you might start to experience a dilemma that once you start growing in a certain way and unfolding, which I think is a term used in certain traditions, then you're more intense than other people. You find people being more floppy. See? And it's not against it, but you start to develop something, maybe it's boldness or courage, see? Inner strength. Other people may not have as much of. And if these are relations of yours, then you might encourage them in a certain way. And that will come from the heart's smartness that is free to speak to others in an encouraging, inspiring way, to make sure that they are aware of the fact that they can bring themselves up as well. Musicians or non-musicians. And then you're letting the heart speak for itself through you. And you want that to be happening through here. Okay? You talk about John Coltrane and that kind of music and his voice, and there are many others, but that's a more popular known voice, a great voice. We're talking about the heart coming through, right? The heart. I don't just mean emotion, okay? But presence, strength, see? Certainty, clarity, see? Genuineness coming through, kindness, see? Dignity coming through, respect, and beauty coming through, and nobility coming through. See? These are things you want to be also aware of. That that's true for you. You can increase that. And feel your own levels can come up. There's only room for more.
So by asking deeper questions, we get a response from the deeper...
You can. If you haven't cut it off, you can. Right. It's a communion. A communing with the higher aspect of yourself, which is not your ego. Your ego is all about down and limits to a certain degree. See? And down can be, great down, greed, but it's still down. It's not transcendent necessarily. So it's all about the self, so it's down. Down to the self, up to the spirit. Down to the self, but up to the spirit.
So the more we activate that part of ourselves, the more it speaks to us.
You have to call it out. You have to talk to it, call it out. And in the spiritual circles, they talk to the spirits. It's not uncommon, right? In the Bible, you have Jesus talking to the spirits. I'm not sure everybody else saw them, but it's common practice for spiritualists, right? Do that, because they've sensed the spirits, because we need to know the spirits are around us, so yes, because you don't see them. Doesn't mean they're not there. We are in living space, so we have a degree of understanding and seeing, perceiving it, but it's not about the eyes. The eyes can't see. Eyes can't see sound sometimes. You can see it in certain forms, vibration. The eyes are limited. You need to have other perceptics going on to help you to have more confidence in your spirituality, see, apart from religion. We're talking about your creative powers, your creative forces. And what's really at risk if you don't activate these things in yourself. See? When you deny your own spiritual potential, see? And then put more emphasis on music, which is just going down the drain.
So would you say that the heart opens on a need-to-know basis?
Well, the heart is now. And you have to understand there's infinite potential. This is abstract. This is theoretical. But you have to have this sense of there being infinite potential. See, like you have more strength than you use. You have more brains than you use. See, you have more compassion than you use. See, and you have more wisdom than you use. And more creativity than you use. See, there has to be at a level of confidence. See, to be proven to yourself. You have to prove it to yourself. See. And beware of the fact that you rest comfortably at levels that are not true to what we're talking about. They're much less. You want to be much more, say, confident in your potential. Not what you've done, but what you need to do. What you can be doing. And what you need to be cultivating. See? Which is more output, more intensity. More gratitude, more grace, more blessings for the peeps who need that. More encouragement for others, they need that. More empowerment for others because they need that. It's not everybody, but there'll be those around you that make it very clear to you without saying a word, you know they need some encouragement, some empowerment, some heart.